Hi, as an introduction, this video is going to look over the modifications that I made to a smoke machine that you can get from Amazon. It is a relatively decently priced smoke machine created from a paint sprayer can, a pressure regulator for propane, and various bits and pieces. It is a very nice piece. It works pretty well. It's not particularly production of smoke. It doesn't make a lot of it, but it makes it well. All the pieces are nicely put together. The hoses, the fittings, the probes and whatnot are very good. What you're going to see in the video is me modifying it to add in a flow meter, because original testing on a project that just keeps on giving for me, which is a 2009 Chevy Suburban, with issues, it worked fine for that. Everything looked good, but it can't tell me whether I have an actual leak because I can't find any smoke. So, hopefully you'll enjoy this video and see some mods that can be made to a relatively cheap, neat little smoke machine, although the same mods can be made to some smoke machine if you build it yourself. And there's lots of them out on the YouTube telling you how to do this. So, enjoy. If you have questions, feel free to send me some comments. I love to talk about stuff. I love to argue about stuff. Anyway, enjoy the video. Alright, so I'm going to continue the tasks of what I'm doing with this little can here. I'm working on this thing, which is a smoke machine. You can see the back of the box, the guts of the machine, and the test types they claim it can do. It's actually a very nice rig. It's available on Amazon. I'm probably going to cut and edit all this out, but here we go. So I have modified what come in the box. It came with a rubber hose that connected this port right here to this port on the pressure regulator, and yeah, that's a propane pressure regulator. Nice simple little thing for use, for outdoor use, LP gas. Yeah, anyway, it works. It does what I want it to do. But what I wanted to do was put this on, and there's a clip before I get to this that shows, oops, I keep turning it upside down, that shows putting that on. Now what I want to do is modify it. I have a piece here that's probably unreadable. It is a 90 degree with a 3/8 inch national pipe thread off the back of it. I have a brass nut that is 3/8 national pipe right in here, and I have a 1/4 inch tubing pressure quick connect T is what they call them. So to get all these pieces out, my whole intention here is to replace that bottom connection here with these guys. Now let's see if we can't zoom in a bit on what I'm doing. Adjust the camera. There we go. I'm going to get, if you look down inside the can down in there, it's kind of hard to see. And that causes oil to leak out of it because I'm an idiot. Yeah, there's oil still in it, the fluid. I need to basically unscrew this, the backing nut off of that guy. I'm going to get a couple wrenches here. I'm going to assume it's standard. We'll figure out what it really is here in just a minute. Wow, is it smaller than 9/16? Sure is. Half, I think. The blithering idiot patrol is loose. Okay. Yeah, it's half. And whoever put it in there got serious about it. to get it out. I don't know what they did with that thing. See if I can get it lined up with a wrench because it's loose now, and I'll just turn it from the outside. Yeah, here we go. And it ain't the greatest, but it'll work if I can get it off. See if I can get the ratcheting end hooked up on this thing. Yeah, it's very oily in there from the smoke fluid. It's a weird feeling. I'm going to demonstrate gravity in a minute. But my head looks good. Man, there's a capture on that nut. Feels like it was cross-threaded, but it isn't. Come on. Let go already. Fat fingers don't want to fit down in there. Yay, got it. Now what I'm afraid of is that this guy isn't going to want to fit in there, and I'm dead right. Alright, so I'm going to have to hand drill that guy out to make it a little bit thicker, a bit bigger hole. And we'll have to O-ring it. Although I do believe I can oversize it with this one. Get this O-ring fitted. That's an O-ring seal fitting that has... This fitting is something I didn't expect. I thought it was a fixed 90, but it's actually got an O-ring seal of two pieces inside of it. So what we're going to do is attempt to go ahead and make this fit. So to do this right, what I really want to do is drill the can just enough that that thing will cut threads going in, it being tougher than the aluminum of the can, and then I'll back set the brass nut on it. Now we get a couple of tools. What tools do I want? I want to measure this guy and get a perfectly sized drill. So I'm wanting to find my drill size, so I got a set of relatively cheeseball calipers, but they work pretty well with the dial indicator. Closed up, it's set. Let's see, we got to get it right on 0. Turn it a little bit. There she is. And I go ahead and get a measurement on just exactly what I need for threads. And if you look at it, it says basically 37/64. No, it doesn't. Sorry. Read it right. 24/64. So 12/32, 6/16, 3/8. So outside of these threads is 3/8 right on the nose. Need a 3/8 inch drill. And we'll get that out of the case. Get the bits. So we will open the can up a little bit. Don't splash the oil everywhere. And there we go. It really isn't much. Now I have, if you look at it carefully here, you'll see there's a couple of little pieces of aluminum hanging off there. So I'm going to get a little something to peel that off. You can use one of these little deburring tools to get it. And it'll clean it up real nice. So now what I should be able to do is take my fitting, which I've managed to lose. I am just fantastic that way. I'm going to put it. Put that down. Oh, people be laughing at me about the crap I can't keep my hands on. Here it is. It's hiding under the box. Okay. So now this should be really tight going in there. So I'll get that set in the can. Alright, now this rotates free, which is very handy for the airline, if you see it. Now I gotta carefully put this brass nut in, which should be interesting to do. Since my fingers are... Yeah, there you go. Alright, let me get some hooks and bits and pieces, because this is gonna be a pain. The hook tool. Let's get the nice oily brass nut back out of there. And you cannot see much while I'm doing this. Let's get the oil off of it so we can hopefully have a finger on it. Alright, now yeah, I'm trying to blind thread it. I got to find a starting point on both objects. Come on, baby. There we go. There it is. So if I bring it up here close, you can see it down in there. Okay. Now I got to get the right size wrench. It's bigger than 5/8, which means 11/16 by any chance. Go get stuff. Sorry, I'm listening to Ray Charles in my head. And what I'm looking at is how bad the distortion is on the little rubber washer on the outside. And it's distorting good, so I should be able to get good pressure on it and have it stay sealed. Okay. Now comes the fun part. I have 2 zip ties on here around the outside where I have this piece out here, which I don't want. I needed to get longer zip ties, so we're going to cut that off and we're going to put a couple longer ones on. Let's go get some. Let me get 2 of them little buggers. Oh my, look at the moisture come out of that concrete. For anybody who wants an interesting weather report, we're in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, and it is February 3rd, and the temperature outside is a walloping 70 degrees today. Very strange. Okay, so I'm going to take these off one at a time. And replace them in such a way that the zip tie wants to set right up down in there. Because I want it to hold this puppy in. I'm going to get down below it. Pull it back a little bit to get it tight. Aye. Okay. Now that I've got it in there, I've got to kind of take individual clicks on it to get it really tight, which it is not doing. Not happy about that little machine. Let's see if we I got tighter with the smaller ones. Oh, come on, don't be like that. It's really hard to get that tight. How loose are you? Not loose enough to be a problem. We'll try it out. It's always resettable if I want to change it around to something else. But for now, we'll try it with that. And replace the bottom one. The idea is I just don't want it looking crappy with these things sticking out. So we'll put another one on there. And I'll show off the aluminum work here in a minute. Okay, let's see if we can stabilize that a little bit. Looks like it's about all we're going to get. Alright, so now I've got that strapped on in such a way that I don't have the nubbies out here that hurt your hands. So they're in the back, buried up inside here where the hoses and stuff are going to be anyway. Okay, so for this thing to work right, I need to put a little lid on here. Okay, lock that in place. I want to keep the lock over here where it's easy to get at. This guy goes straight in until you get it set deeply. Okay, and then we need some more of that tubing. What we're going to do now is cross it over in such a way that we go from there in tight to there, in tight. Looks like it wants to be a little lower. That's fine. Now, the way I have it set up, I know it looks kind of clunky, but imagine it says Snap-on on it, has a nice box around the outside of it, and then you'll feel more comfortable. Let's see, I kind of like that turned that way. I may tighten that later. Right now it's loose so I can get it on and off. The idea being this, when I put air in through the compressed air feed here, I will get air out of there and the flow meter will show something. So what we're going to do to show that off is we're going to get the air machine going. Since I use different feeds, this is that homebrew or homeowner, what do you want to call it, the standard ends you see on a lot of stuff. It's got a proper name. I have a fitting that matches it here, but I use these on the mainline air here. So if I'm using it, I gotta put my air in that way. I'm going to depressurize because my air pressure is too high, which you'll hear. Coming down to about 30 pounds thereabouts. Now, if I get the whole bits of the kit here and into the accessories kit, that gives me the power wiring. And what I like about this kit is they even covered this. They put the tie wrap on it so you don't have to make it look nasty. So it's got the oil in it right now. I can screw the connector on. It's currently switched off. It's got a fuse on it. I happen to have power there. So now if I put air on it, okay, it's not showing any flow because I have the valve closed. The second here I'm going to break the camera loose so you can see all of this. This hose is so heavy I got to do something to block it in such a way that it won't be in the way. Alright, let's move that out the way. Okay. Okay, this is going to bounce real hard. I'll clip that off. Okay, so if you're looking at it, you can, if I get real close to this, you can just barely hear. There's airflow. And if you look, you can see that the gauge is moving. So if I make the hole smaller, much smaller, you can see it dances way down. If it drops all the way down into there, you don't have an active leak. Okay. Boom, swoosh. Boom, smooch. Okay. So now, if I flip it on, you'll see the standard effect here pretty soon as it warms up. Come on, warm up, puppy. Ooh, it has a little glowy light to tell you it's on. Come on, sweetie. I'm not seeing smoke that I wish to see. Well, through the magic of editing, we'll play with this a little bit. Let's put you back up high. Ay, ay, ay. I'm smelling it. There's my line. Ah, it's really hard to see this, so let me kill this light. It's interesting, it produced more than that the last time I was messing with it. I may be low on oil. Let's see. It's producing smoke. Hopefully you can see it. It's not producing much right now. I think it's because the wick is just a little light. First time I used it was pretty good, but I've got less oil in it now. Yeah. You can't really see it, but there's a... Let's see if it can show. No, it doesn't show real well, but there is very steady flow through there. And I can smell it. Now the trick here is if I want to see what the pressurization becomes, let's see, I'll move this up a little bit. Do I get more flow? And pull the pressure down. Now I've got pretty steady flow right at about 4.5 liters. That's what, 4.5 liters a minute of air, and I'm not producing what I would consider good smoke. Can's getting hot though. So my question is, where is my air going? Because that's the smoke I'm producing. I should be getting more of it out. I see it. It's producing smoke and I can see the trace. It takes a while to warm up. That's all. It's not the super duper fancy, really expensive machine, but it'll do the job. Lord knows I've tested it. Might be a little hard to see, but let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing the taste of smoke there. Now the other thing is, if I want to know whether the thing is holding pressure or not, I have to have a gauge in there. And the intention is, if I can't get it from the flow meter, which I think I can, I can take this little guy right here, and what will happen is if I put the air pressure on it, it should creep up. If I have that teed off, what I should see is the air pressure come up when it fills all the bits. Yep, I don't have any flow at all. And the air pressure is barely like half a pound on the back side. If I pop this open, yeah, blows lots of smoke. So this is an experiment, so I'm not going to get crazy about it. But that gauge, I wonder if that gauge is sticky. She's not producing a lot of poundage here. And I could cheat, as I can see what the poundage is here. Ooh. Yeah, we're putting plenty of poundage on the other side of it. So, I think I will leave it with flow, because flow is what I'm looking for. I can slow the flow down a little bit so that it starts at a restricted, like 4 liters, and shows me what I want to see. So we'll let it run now that it's hot. Anyway, that's kind of a cool trick. It works pretty good. I like what it's doing. It will give me what I need for what I am going to be doing outside. And I'll shoot some video to demonstrate how the thing works, how you actually use this crazy little rig. Because I have a test case that I need to answer. So we'll see it in operation here before too long. Right now I'm going to go ahead and put this back in its case and clean up, and that will be that for this bit. So it is built, it is in workable shape, and I'm happy with what I got now. So I have a way to see whether or not I'm actually flowing air into something I'm smoke testing. The flow meter being the way that I can tell if I'm basically losing air in whatever it is I'm testing. Because you can literally see whether it's a high loss, low loss, whatever, just on the basis of how much air is flowing through the piping. So cool. I think we'll leave it there, and I'll probably clip this together with an actual demonstration of using it.